This is KOTPodcast episode 4. I am your host, Oni. With me today, I have 3 guests and no co-hosts currently because Goo is not here right now. My first guest is Mork. Say hi, Mork.
Hello.
Mork is our Crucible aficionado for the day. We have KOTP Garfiend.
Hi, KOTP Garfiend.
That's smart ass. And then again, we have a returning guest, DJ Darkreven. Say hi, DJ.
Yes,
That's
sir. Back in
Raven,
the building.
not Reven.
Yep, I'm back in the building.
So, today we are going to talk about a couple of things. First off, we will talk about the new class changes, and then we'll continue into the new weapon changes. We have talked about these already, but we want to talk about how they feel now that we're like 2.5, 3 weeks past the update, and basically how the classes feel as a whole now. And then we're going to talk about the Iron Banner, which is here this week, and the Clan Wars event that goes with it. Then we'll do clan announcements. That's about it. So let's start off with intros. Mork, tell us about yourself, your background at Destiny, your gaming career, what led to joining Knights, and how has your experience been since joining Knights?
Truthfully, hate it. Hate my brother.
Okay, in context, his brother is Axo
in
from like the first or second episode. Well, no, I'm just putting who your brother is.
Alright,
His brother's Axo.
For
Axo,
starters, the founder, Axo, is my older dumbass brother. See, gaming-wise, started off on Call of Duty 4, where I made the pro circuit numerous times, including Call of Duty 4 as well as Black Ops, with a team that a lot of people know out there, Optic Gaming. I was one of the original members on that team.
Really? I actually didn't know that.
Yes, one of the original members before they became, as you know, a big international team. It was me, Optic Diesel. Let's see, then it was also another member who's no longer there, Optic Nerve, and then a old buddy of mine, Optic Eaton. Destiny, Destiny, you can actually, everybody here can actually thank my younger brother for having Destiny on PS4 and let me try it out. Picked it up.
On
Originally
PS4?
was on a team with, he has PS4, played it on his, never really got into it, and then he was like, you gotta get this game. Got it, loved it, went and got it myself. Let's see, clan-wise, I was on a clan with a much older clan with Hunter, and my brother, it was Dead on Sight.
That's Hunter's
So
triumph, to put that in context as well.
So
I was there as well.
And then before we grew to 100 members in this clan, I was one of the original KOTP members. Then there was a part of KOTP that I just don't remember that got me a lot of hate that some people remember and hate me for still, but we'll ignore that. We'll ignore that part. And then now I'm back.
How has your experience been with the Knights?
I said
since
I hate
then.
my brother.
Since now. Well, yeah, true.
Since then it's been kind of interesting just because it started off so small and then now it's grown into, 2 separate clans. Well, one whole clan but 2 separate groups. Feeder clan. And definitely, I guess, talent-wise, has expanded talent-wise. And it seems to be also a lot more relaxed now. Beforehand, when there was some of the, as we discussed, the part of my mind that I like to block out of a instance, some of those members we had some a lot of testosterone blow up. So now that that's all gone, it kind of seems a lot more relaxed now, and it seems like you can always find people to play with, which I like.
No more closed doors.
Sorry, Tony,
Sorry.
come out of the closet.
They're playing some Iron Banner in the background. I couldn't pry him away from the Iron Banner.
No.
Garfiend, you back? You ready to talk about yourself?
Nope, not at all.
No? All right. Well, I'm going to make you do it anyways. Tell us your background in Destiny, your background in gaming or gaming career, what led to joining Knights, and how has your experience been since you joined the Knights? And I can repeat those as need be.
So, started out, always been a Bungie fan because I grew up playing Halo. So when they branched away and announced Destiny, I was automatically interested in that. So when the beta came out, I've been playing since the beta. I actually managed to get, before it went open to everybody, I managed to get early access. So I got to play it for a day earlier, or however long it was.
So was that the alpha or that was still the beta?
No, like there was part of the beta, like it was closed for like a day, I think, because it wasn't open to everybody. And then like the next day, you got to play for another day. Is basically what it wound up. And then they opened it to everybody. And I told a bunch of friends to join. Still play with some of them on occasion. So I've been playing since the beta. Took me a while to get the DLC because I pre-ordered it, but then I went to military school for a month, and I didn't have internet, so I couldn't play it. So I had it just sitting there on my 360, and I couldn't touch it.
Oh, 360, Jesus.
Oh yeah, it was on a 360, so couldn't even touch it for a month. Came back, pretty much have tried to hit it fairly regularly. I don't really play hardly anything else except for this new other game I was playing earlier.
Oh, the
Go ahead
Dragon Ball Z game?
Go ahead, say
I
it.
was playing Dragon Ball. And I don't care. It was awesome. I like that game. It's fun. Nice
Hey,
little
I mean, as long
beat
as you
people
enjoy
down.
it, you know.
Yeah, it's fun. Played Halo 2 at a professional level. I didn't like compete in anything major like MLG. A couple of the singles competitors who did really well. I think the only one I remember is Hello Kitty, but I played with a bunch of them, actually, like on my friends list for a long time. I'd played with the top Halo 2 team, had like the Ogre twins, Ogre 1, Ogre 2.
Final boss.
Like this is, Final Boss. I played with against them numerous times just because I was at their skill level. I matched up with them in matchmaking.
There you go.
And then other friends I had knew them and were friends with them, so I got matched up to play against them. Got my butt kicked a lot, but I beat them.
Hey,
in
that's
some
how you get
firefights
better.
here and there.
You know, that's why I
Yeah,
play with
that-
Morks
that definitely
sometimes,
helps.
because then I can actually play against good people, you know?
Yeah, but Mork's just a sniper god. That's just not even fair. You have to give him like a pistol.
I'll give me pissed
Give
off.
him
a
I'll still make it
Kvastov.
work for a kill.
After that, I kind of
he has to. He's
quit
only
trying to
allowed to
play.
use fusion rifles.
Okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Challenge accepted.
I was
You
gonna
must use the
say,
cost of
fusion
fusion
rifles are
rifles.
good now, DJ. You forget.
Go ahead, Gart.
Yeah. Anyways, other than that, that's the only game I really played at what I would consider a professional level. I'm okay, except for that snipe. That snipe was gnarly. Anyways, just kind of play for kicks. But I'm not limited to just shooters. I grew up playing old school Nintendo stuff.
Oh yeah.
So anytime Legend of Zelda comes out, I'm always kind of geeking out a little bit. Like, yeah. So big thing, I like story in all my games, but it's got to have a good. That's good for like 1 or 2 playthroughs, and after that you need to have a good multiplayer to keep the experience alive, which is what Destiny actually has, is a good multiplayer. Not very good story. Story kind of sucked. But
I mean, some of its story.
it was very hard to follow. The DLCs have improved a lot.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, that main story was just really hard to follow. What were the other questions?
So, background of Destiny, gaming career, what led to joining the Knights? And then how was your
All right,
experience since you joined the Knights?
So this is where it gets convoluted, because one of our
the big word.
newer kind of members is that joined. DJ knows, I'm sure, and I'm not going to go into specifics, but one of the newer members and I have a history, because the clan I was in, everybody, if you don't know him, GWR Lone Legacy, one of the admins, him and I are really close. We were actually in GWR together as admins. And
what
the
is that?
founder,
I
it
do
was
remember your
Game
name
with
being
Respect.
GWR.
Gamers
Guard
with
fine.
respect.
I kind of have to be careful how I say this, and my girlfriend's back there knows the whole situation. Like, you better watch it. Had a falling out that led to the disbanding of the clan. I literally just got on the forum, said I was looking for a clan, and Bosky God just happened to tell me to join. So I said okay. So joined, and like within like a month, I think the next Iron Banner after I joined, I got moved up to the main clan, and I had to step back occasionally for different military purposes. Normally is what it breaks down to, or work, something of that nature. I had to step down to Rising for a short time. But no, I actually brought a Legacy into the clan. I actually told him to join, and then somehow he made leadership before me. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but whatever. Proud of him. He's done good work.
No comment.
So, how has your
He said no comment.
I was gonna say, so how has your experience since joining the Knights? Like, what do you like about it? What don't you like about it?
DJ,
Be
why do you get
brutally
50 points?
honest.
Brutally honest, I do like the fact that you can pretty much jump in and almost any point in time during the day, there's someone you can play with.
Kind of like what I said.
What I don't like is sometimes, and it is what it is, when you're finding people, and at different admins, Hunter said it numerous times.
I bet I can guess what you're gonna say, but go on.
You get some people in here whose personalities don't quite match up with what we want in the clan, and
Yeah.
they start mouthing off and just being disrespectful and being punks is basically what it boils down to. I don't like when that happens, just because I don't see the point in it overall. I mean, yeah, we're competitive in DCW and all that, but overall I don't
agree.
think it matters. I think it just people need to just shut up and quit picking fights over the internet and being a social justice keyboard warrior. But yeah, that pretty much about sums it up. Another thing I
Um,
like. I do like the fact that Axo is my little spoon on occasion.
What? Time out here. Can we talk about this? Hold on.
To
Okay.
be fair, your sister-in-law is the littlest spoon. It's just an Axo sandwich.
Oh my God. I'm gonna block. I'm
Oh.
gonna block out this part of the conversation.
Oh, this is definitely making the podcast. Anyways,
No, it's not.
DJ, why don't you
Sorry.
go over again your background in gaming and how you got into Knights briefly, since you've already done it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Max is
go.
gonna
I'm
be
not
seeing
gonna
this one.
go 100% into that, but been playing Destiny since day one. Wasn't really into the PvP side. More so went to it for the PvE, and then that got kind of boring. So I decided to try out the Crucible a little bit, and I don't know, it kind of grew on me. It wasn't all that at the beginning, but Searle's regime was reigning superior at that time, so I had fun with that gun.
Let's talk about who'd you get your first trials. Who'd you get your first lighthouse with?
Oh, Hammer, watch out, DJ.
Oh yeah, that is
Whoa.
true. Yeah, and when I joined the Knights, I got my first trial run with Axo and Mort, and
Goddamn
ever
right.
since then I was hooked. I was like, well, shit, if this thing can just get me there at will when I was still a very, very noob PvP player, then I was just like, yeah, let's stay here. And so at that point, I decided to start trying to give back to the clan. So I wound up making the website, becoming an becoming the clan's treasurer. Yeah, that's
Hey,
pretty
kind
much
of
my life story there.
caveat, since you said your first trials flawless. I will
Yeah.
say my partner in crime in that one was Lone Legacy on the very first
There you go.
weekend, and I think for the next three after first month of trials, him and I were flawless every week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So but that
Lone
was pretty
Legacy was
much
in the chat and he's like, "Wait, hey, the story of GWR to KOTP."
Wait, what?
J-
He's in the
Lone in
podcast
chat says, "DJ was a noob at PvP once?" Question mark.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Oh.
I remember that when we started tossing out hammers though.
It's been real, Russ. Been real.
But yeah, but other than that, like I said, I created the clan and we started doing different things. I said I created the created the clan website.
I
is
say
what I
you
meant.
weren't in here in the beginning.
No,
You
I wasn't there. From
You
the very
weren't
beginning.
even there.
Yeah, I didn't join until probably the clan was already around for a couple months. I never really looked for the clan though. The clan kind of found me. A previous member kind of recruited me from when I was playing PvP, and I had pulled like a 30 kill game or something like that, and it was so one of the old clan members pulled me in or whatever, and I was just
Ooh.
okay, cool. I wasn't really looking for a clans, but it just works, and so we went ahead and teamed up that night, played a bunch of Iron Banner and stuff, and next thing you know, I'm an admin and all that, and we create things on the site like Night of the Month and stuff. You know, kind of like one of the distinctions that KOTP Guardfiend got.
You mean like what Garfield is or was? Is?
Is there
Was?
a current one? I don't even know.
Yeah,
think
he's
it
still
is.
the current one right now.
Yeah.
But,
Wait, when do we
tomorrow
crown
there's
the
a new
next one? Is that tomorrow? On the
Yeah,
first of the
tomorrow.
month?
Every month on the first, we try
Yeah.
to put a new night of the month out there, and along with that, they get a grimoire card with a little grimoire story that we make up. So
Hey, I'm
right
just
now
saying,
you can see
mine,
those.
Mine was pretty cool.
Hi, Goku.
Yeah, and the next one's really cool too. I can't wait till y'all can see it.
Can we get a preview? Who is it?
No, I'm not gonna tell you who it is. I can tell you
KOT
the class
podcast
that
exclusive? Come on, give me the
I can tell you.
exclusive.
I can no.
Come on.
I can tell you the
Dude,
class.
all right, you've got
that it
you've
was.
got an
Okay,
hour
what
and a
class
half
is it?
before it's
Wait,
midnight my
Is it a
time.
warlock?
So, you know,
Well,
it's
there's-
basically
I'd have to
tomorrow.
I'd have to make
you know.
sure. I'd have to make sure the rest of leadership is okay with that. Of me giving
Oh,
it out
come on.
early.
It's a couple of hours. What's it? They're not
Well,
gonna.
I'll get back to y'all. I'll get back to y'all on that one on whether or not I can do that.
Okay, well wait, is it a warlock?
The class is a Night Stalker.
Is it Coop?
Okay, so it's a hunter.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
me.
it's a hunter.
Yeah,
Obviously,
fucking
man.
right.
It would make
Yeah,
sense.
We
'cause
know
you
it's
have-
not-
'cause
You don't
have
even
gained-
show up to
'cause you have gained
podcasts
that
on
many
time.
You have gained
apologize.
that many brownie points in the time that you're here. That is you, Goo. I promise.
I've sucked many toes.
What?
All right. On
Hey,
that
Mark.
note, we're gonna move on to the class changes. Oh, by the way,
Hey, just want to
Stink
caveat,
says
Stink Wrinkle. Yeah,
Stink said.
I'm watching it.
Funny, DJ was a noob at PvP.
Nah.
Oh,
Everybody trying to chime in on that, huh? That's
Oh,
all right.
and
Hey,
Hoots and
like
Boots.
I said,
Hi, Hoots and Boots.
play Iron Man.
So, Sunbreakers.
working
Hammer of Soul
No.
travel speed was increased by 1.3%. Hammer detonation radius increased by 10%, and the damage increased by 10% against AIs. Do we feel that? Has anyone really seen that? Does Sunbreaker?
I'm not.
I
As
hate to-
evidence
What
on
are
my
you
camera
guys'
card, I'm a
experience with
hunter.
that? Has anyone seen it? Tried it? Does it
I've
feel
noticed
any
more
better?
hammers personally.
Yeah, I
Just
have
more
noticed a
people
lot more
playing the
hammers,
Yes,
hammer
I've
too.
class.
noticed more hammers in the PvP.
Now is
world.
it taking King release? Everybody jumps on a hammered Titan because it's godly hammered Titans, or is it
No,
about in the middle?
I think it's just they're more. I think they're more competitive now than what they were.
I
when they
can
were,
agree to that.
when
I
they were
have
nerfed.
tried it, and I will say that the 1.3% aiming or hammer travel speed doesn't really make that much difference. It's still kind of throwing a hammer, and it's still kind of slow. It does feel a little better. Strikers, we got Super Fist of Havoc. Base damage increased by 50%, an additional 50% against AI combatants. I'm not
Which
liking
it didn't
this.
Need, it didn't
I'm
need it
not
anyway
liking this.
because
I
the
swear
Fist of
they've got a
Panic is
larger
already.
radius.
Well,
Go
the
ahead.
Fist of Havoc is already.
You know,
Okay.
I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with the consensus on that one as well. It does.
Does it feel
Fist of
like it
Panic,
got
it was
larger
already,
range?
It did, and I think the people who actually know how to use it, it's just made them even. Then you have
Sorry about that,
not
gentlemen.
just that.
It's all
You
good.
have the general fact that it's now a stronger super, and then you also have the fact that it now can jump into a bubble titan, for instance, break the bubble, and then kill everybody inside it. And the only other thing I know that does that is a void
Well,
walker.
it used
with
to
the void
do that.
walkers.
It used to
very,
do that.
Yeah.
If you landed it well, it would land inside and kill everyone in it. It would do that.
And I was actually happy when that went away because
I wasn't,
you know,
because
no
if you
other-
smash inside the bubble, it should kill everyone in the bubble, because basically what you're doing is you're just emitting this giant shockwave inside a bubble, which should basically concentrate it, in my opinion. But
it really
that's
depends. If
different.
they're running weapons, yes. If they're running blessing, I would say probably not. I think it would depend on their armor rating. But if they're running armor of light, where you could pretty much take a shotgun blast to the freaking face or sniper bolt and live,
Yeah, well,
the only
think
thing
it's
that I
more
don't
like
like about it
Titan.
is that now it feels
Like
like
a,
when someone smashes, I'm getting hit from a lot farther away than what I used to. Like, I don't know if that's just because of the damage fall off has just been like pushed to the max.
Can I get
Yeah,
my
go
words
ahead,
now?
DJ. Sorry.
Anyway, I was just gonna say, to me, it makes sense that a striker titan does kill, no matter if you're in the bubble or not, because the striker titan does hit the ground inside the bubble. So that's just like if you were to take a nova bomb. If you shoot it on the outside, yeah, it doesn't kill the people inside, unless it has like vortex on it and they get caught inside of that as well as taking some of the damage. But if you go inside of a Titan bubble and you shoot your Nova bomb off, that will kill everybody inside because it's happening. The damage is being dealt from within that bubble. So to me, that kind of makes sense.
To this day,
Stink,
I
what do you
still
mean?
think
It just seems like they
regard-
can land slightly outside of it and then it'll kill.
I mean, if they have aftershocks or shockwave,
And like even without aftershock or shockwave, shockwave it shouldn't travel into the bubble. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
your grenades, like your
Oh, I didn't.
like your
I
what's
didn't
the
know that.
thermite?
I didn't
What
know
is it?
that
The
was
thermite
possible.
grenade?
yeah.
The thermite grenade, it doesn't enter the bubble. And like
Well, that's what
any
I'm
grenade
saying. Like
effects don't necessarily enter
the
the bubble.
shockwave
So
shouldn't. The shockwave should not go through the bubble. That shouldn't. But if you smash right inside the bubble, it should kill everything it touches. Like, it is a one and done super. Like, it should. Defenders, grenades, spike grenade damage, impulse per second reduced to 5 from 10, and then the damage per impulse increased to 100%. So the total damage is unchanged. I still don't understand what did they make it to where there's.
It's the same as the
It just-
hunter grenade on the
I know
Night
that,
Stalker.
but I mean,
It
I
just
still don't
attacks
understand
faster.
what it does.
The spike
difference-
grenades are
just-
decent.
The
They
spike
do a lot
grenade,
of
the
damage
duration is
initially.
not as long, but they increase the damage of the spike grenade when it's activated.
Oh, so
So
it
the spike
pumps out a
grenade's
higher
duration-
DPS. Is what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure it's the best choice on the defender. I still think the suppression probably will
Oh yeah, suppressors are
be the
by
most
far the
useful
better
on
choice.
that character, but
So have you guys I know I've seen a lot more Defender Titans. I don't know if that's just because
I have
noticed,
seen a lot.
or if that's because the Fun
Yes.
Police was so far back and now people are really trying to do it. I don't know, but it just seems like I've noticed a lot of Defender Titans.
There's
Anyone.
just too much going on in this game Titan-wise. I mean, back to the whole Titan smash, there's been several times where I'll be 20 feet up in the air above the Titan and he'll smash the ground and somehow it'll magically kill me. But yet, they want to
Yeah,
go ahead
I
and fix
don't
the
agree
base
with that.
damage. Cool.
Stink
Continue
Wrinkle
this
in the
conversation
chat
quick.
says suppression nades last too long. I don't
I
think
agree.
so.
They do.
They last what, 8 seconds?
They last longer than a tether does.
Well, yeah, that's because it's a grenade, and a tether is a super that sits
a super, exactly.
there.
The
But-
radius is fairly big on the explosion too, honestly.
Yes, you cannot even get damaged.
I think how
hardly
it
at all by
should
the
work
grenade.
is the farther away from the actual detonation is how long it should. Like, if you're on the very edge of it, it might last for 2 seconds. But if it hits you, like, it's at your feet, it should last about 8 seconds. That's how I feel about it, but what do you guys think?
Suppressor grenade wise, it should not take you out of your super right away. What it should do is if it hits you, it delays your super. It takes you out of it for, 3-4 seconds and then allows you to go back into it. But the whole suppressor grenade, as soon as you throw a freaking golden gun up, or a storm trance, and you throw that suppressor grenade, it's going to drop them out right away.
Alright, I'm
it's the
back.
strongest grenade in the game.
I
Wait,
don't
what's it-
think you
wouldn't
should
mind
be
if
able
you
to
got to
go. I don't
finish,
think you
like-
should be able to go right back in your super. I
I don't
like
think you should
that
be
it
able to either.
pulls
But
you
if you got to
out.
like finish the duration of your super, I don't think that'd be the worst thing, because you're not gonna have much
No.
time left anyways.
Yeah.
No, and
If
I
it
mean,
was
if you
still
think about it,
counting
if you're mid super and you get a suppressor grenade off you, I mean, 9 times out of 10, I mean, if you're not getting that first shot off, I mean, you're gonna get killed anyway. But I feel like if you get suppressed, you still survive. You should at least get some part of that duration left of your super instead of dropping out right away.
Like the
What- Yes, well, I like that because I love my Night Stalker, so I'm not gonna debate that one.
We'll
it's-
get
That was
there.
such like a pleasant change, like just like being able to shoot a blade dancer and have him go out of his super
Drop
nearly
right away.
immediately.
We'll get
Yeah,
there.
that's one thing.
I did have a question. I did have a question about
Go ahead.
Night Stalker though. If you don't hit the person with the bow, does it still take them out automatic right away?
Yes.
Or
No.
does
Yes.
it? Okay.
It
Yes.
hits and then wham grabs them, and it's almost instantaneous.
If you hit a super directly with the bow, like if you hit kind of like what Goku said, if you hit a blade dancer or somebody running self res, if you hit them right away, it takes them out right away instead of having to wait for that
Yeah, but I'm
1,
saying,
2
do you have to
second before
hit
it kicks
them?
in.
Do you have to hit them, or can it be?
I
even
think
near
I
them?
don't think you
Yeah.
have to hit them either.
Yeah,
I
if you
think
don't
as long
hit
as,
them-
as long as they're in the radius.
It's not
On a side
immediate
note to
if you
kinda-
don't hit them, though. It's not instantaneous if you don't hit them.
Yeah,
Faster than it
I was about
was
to-
though.
I was about to
It's
say
No,
yeah,
definitely
if it's
there is
faster
a
than it was,
fraction of
for
a
sure.
second. There's a fraction of a second where they will still get grabbed unless they're like on the very edge and they can like shade step out. But
Alright,
otherwise,
so that
Otherwise-
just
Me.
happened. Like a storm trance, like was in his fucking storm trance, and then I was in my tether, popped him. I killed him with my hand cannon, but he killed me with like the end of his storm trance,
that might have just been latency, lag, and all that.
potentially.
kind of.
Are you an Iron
one thing
Banner?
about the suppressor grenade, real
Clash.
quick, if I may,
Clash.
real quick.
Sure.
And Stink commented it easier. If the suppressor grenade, I'm agreeing with, I don't remember who said it, about saying that it shouldn't take you out of your super if it's already
That'd
activated.
be me. That'd be me.
Okay. I understand the Night Stalker super, the tether. It's a super. It should be a little bit stronger, and I'm okay with having the suppressor prevent activation of supers in addition to everything else that it does. But if you have a traveling super, or you like say even if it's like a Nova Bomb or a Smash, it shouldn't take you out of it. It should.
Yeah, I agree.
If you've activated before the grenade explodes, I feel like your super should be allowed.
Well,
to
I
continue.
mean, there are cases
It's
where
not
you
a
can
super,
still get
though.
it off. Like
Yeah.
I've thrown Nova Bombs and then got suppressed before, and I've gotten them off. The really funny one is when someone gets ready to smash and you throw it, and it blows up, and then they try and activate. like it's like activate boom, like it's just like real close, and then they just kind of like land, and they're like, what? I'd be okay with that. Like, even as the striker, I'd be like, I got hit with a suppression grenade. I did something stupid because I tried to challenge a bubble titan in their bubble with a smash, and they were smart enough to suppress me. Like, it does take skill to use those, like a lot of skill. That's my view on them. They are a skilled grenade. They are not chuck them wherever and get kills.
Right
well, I guess it kind of makes sense that a defender would have a kind of a OP grenade just because of the fact that, I mean, their super doesn't kill anyone. Going to get a lot of kills because really, if somebody pops a bubble, they're stationary to that bubble. If you wouldn't be the dumbass to go inside of it, then that's your fault. If you want to sit there and go around to them when they have weapons of light up and get one shot by a high impact sniper, that's your fault. So they don't really have a super that's going to come and get you. They still have to use skill to get a kill.
Stink in chat says, then they ultimately get 2 supers. I disagree with that because the bubble does not suppress you, and unless you have armamentarium, which most defenders will backup plans, and unlike me, who I run armamentarium, but still, it's not like having 2 supers because your tether gets 3, so it's, you know, it's recharging, but they have like DJ said, they have a stationary super where their super does no damage, absolutely nothing. So I cannot see any argument for taking away for not taking away the super. Like, that is their big hook. They can take away your super. Like, that's what makes a defender, in my opinion. The ability to control an area and deny you.
DJ, I saw that.
All right, let's move on to gunslingers. Swarm grenades increased arming radius by 0.5 meters. Swarm grenade detonation damage increased by 7%, which isn't very noticeable, actually. And then trip mine no longer attaches to targets, arms on impact, then bounces and attaches to terrain. Trip mine damage reduced by 3%.
Yeah,
Go.
That's the biggest fuck up they made. That's the biggest mess up they made right there with the trip mine.
But it's a mine. It's supposed to be a trap, which is what they said that they wanted. They didn't want it to be a sticky grenade.
So why do they make a metal for it to be a sticky?
Well, they have metals for other stickies. It's not just
in the past. There's been like full montages of just like sticky, like trip mines to the dome and shit like that.
Yeah,
like
but
full
they have
montages
fusion grenades. There's
sticky.
flux grenades. There's magnetic grenades.
I'm just
that are
lamenting
all
the fact that I
giving
can't
you
unicorn people.
What? Yeah, but those are all get it off metals. They're all the same. There's no specific one for a trip mine.
Golden Gun's a pretty strong super, honestly. So,
what aim do
trying
you
to
have
compare the
incendiary
super to the
grenades?
grenades, like what kind of output they can.
I kind of like it
create.
because if you know the map well enough and you know how to play your character well enough, you can now take the gunslinger class from being a purely offensive one where it can now be defensive. They can kind of hang back a little bit and then push with their super. I actually kind of like it a little bit better with the trip mine being a trap and not being so aggressive.
Which I've seen a lot of people do, like Mr. Vicious. Oh man, he does it all the time. I've played trial with him, and he'll get trip mine grenades all the time. Not even just sticking people. Like, I'll watch him. He'll drag someone through a point. He'll what was it? Blind watch with the 3 doors, right? The middle door. He'll throw one. He'll stick it on the thing. They'll come through, and he's gonna body them, and then it just blows up, and it's just, it's clutch and it's beautiful, and that's exactly what they want. They want you to draw someone in. They want you to pull them into that. Like,
sounds like
that makes sense.
But how do you feel about the grenades can't actually kill said person? You have to shoot them.
I don't agree with that.
Well,
if they have a high
you have to have
armor.
very low armor, which
if you have,
in today's Destiny, most people run a fairly high armor.
The thing about that is, though, they are one shot.
Most people nowadays in trials or Iron Banner will run a full armor setup.
But if they run through that, the point is you can one-shot them. Let's be honest. So, say you throw that behind you and you turn around, granted, you just gave your back to them. It goes off,
Ew.
you turn around, and you just hit them with your primary, you kill them. Or they rush you with a shotgun. I mean, you did turn your back on them.
It depends.
Go ahead.
Like if you're just in a sticky situation where you're like in trials, you're getting pinched. Like I can understand you want to take it away from being a stick. Okay, great. I understand that. But almost every other class and subclass in that respective thing has a grenade of some sort that can kill you instantly. Whether it's a fusion grenade,
Incendiary
a flux
can kill
grenade,
you instantly.
it has to be at your feet.
But based on your
That's the
argument,
thing,
though, it will kill
it's
you
the same
instantly.
thing.
The only
Just like
the
a scatter grenade, it has to.
But the
sit
scatter
right
grenade
there
can now
on you.
track. If you have nothing manacles on, the scatter grenade tracks now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, but at the same time, it doesn't.
They're
like,
hard to throw. They're actually relatively hard to throw.
Yeah, you
those-
gotta like position it perfectly still. But you can run if they're running full speed, they can run straight through a scatter grenade and live.
Unless you hit them in the chest, which is really funny because then it just blows out and then like
Blossoms out in their
encompasses
face.
them. Yeah, it's pretty funny actually.
They should make a
So
montage about that.
Mahorny in
Anyways.
chat says, "I am a gunslinger main and I have never used swarm grenades." Now, I have used swarm grenades before because I went from a warlock with scatter grenades to trying the swarm grenades, and they are basically the same concept except for they don't automatically blow up.
The last time I used swarm
Immediately.
grenades was in year 1, where as long as they were doing some type of damage on the swarm grenades, it was going towards your super. This was
The
the
ashes
only
to
time that I saw
assets.
people running that.
Yeah. Which I wish that they would put that perk
Swarm
on them.
nades are
that,
nice.
that if
The only thing
someone
swarm
gets in
nades-
them, like if they had an inherent perk of ashes to assets on swarm grenades, that would be way more viable than the trip mine or the incendiary, in my opinion. Yeah. So let's continue then. The super golden gun got an increased up 50% damage, an additional 30% against AI, and then Deadeye, which is the highest aim or accuracy as well, got an increase of an additional 30% damage. What do you guys think about that?
I like it because it can now. I feel like your golden gun is a little bit more viable. Like before this, it was always Night Stalker. Not just because you could shade step like ridiculous amount, and they were so freaking agile because of it. And then they had the super that shuts down other supers, but can also kill you if you hit them. I feel like it makes golden gun more viable because you would use it before, and especially against like a void walker or a titan using a striker. I felt like it wouldn't kill them instantly.
Or
like it'd take a good
hammers.
chunk of their health out.
Yeah.
Or hammers, how hammers used to be. Which they brought that down, which I'm okay with, because that was just ridiculous. They shouldn't have had that much armor as a titan.
I don't know. I think they should have, but they should have upped other supers to that, to where that super would kill it.
I like the increase to golden gun. I personally think
Yeah.
it makes everything a little bit better.
Yeah. So, and then melee, the throwing knife, they base damage reduced by 10%, circle of life modified, so throwing knives reduce the cooldown of golden gun if you have circle of life. It doesn't extend the duration, and it takes off 1 armor if you put it on. And then scavenger, increase the amount of grenade and melee energy awarded by 33%, chain of woe, +1 recovery added, over the horizon, +1 recovery removed. What do you guys think about that? Throwing knives. There's been a lot of
I
negative
don't
stuff
run
about
circle life knives. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I run incendiary blade on it. So I mean, it's really not
That's
that
what I did.
big of a. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal to me.
I feel like that was just more of a draw to people to use it, but it's not going to change any, because the key to Crucible is you worry about your DPS that you can do anything. That's why Thorn was in year 1 was such a meta. It's because it did damage over time. That's why
I don't
people
think they
like
really
Thorn.
And I don't really think they made. I mean, if you think about it, the only thing they really kind of messed up a little bit on the update would be just the trip mine grades. Other than that, I mean, I really don't mind any of the updates they made for the for the the gunslinger for the warlock.
Yeah.
So I mean, not the warlock, the Hunnam.
I do agree with like what Mahorny said in chat and what you guys are saying. The trip mine should kill you,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't stick to you. It's a mine.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Not
Yeah,
a
I don't mind the
sticky.
sticking thing, but if you get directly hit by it, you should be dead. There should be no hesitation with that.
I don't know. I still don't like it as a sticky. Just based
No, I don't like
on
it.
what
I
it's
mean,
supposed to be.
I don't like I agree with the whole like it not being a sticky grenade anymore. But I mean, if you run directly through a trip mine,
Oh yeah, if you
I mean,
run
it should
through
kill
it,
you.
it should kill you. The other thing about that though is they need to tone down the dignifier.
Yeah, if you're gonna make it a solely
a
trap,
trip mine.
make
They
that
need
light
to either
less
make a
violent.
friendly ping and a red ping for you, but maybe just like a little red dot, like little
okay,
red.
like a different color for like a teammate strip mine.
Yeah. Well, they
I
already
agree
do
with
that
that.
actually.
That'd
If
be
you look at
nice.
it, there's white lines on a teammate's trip mine, whereas there's red on an enemy one.
Nope.
Yeah, that's true.
Never. No,
That's-
I've never. No, I'm saying I don't know. I didn't know that. I don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, that.
I see a trip
actually
mine. I see a
learned
trip
that
mine
on
that's not
the-
mine. I
on
shoot
YouTube.
it.
Yeah. But I do think that they shouldn't put off that red light. I think maybe the tip might glow red,
Ayo.
but I don't think it should make a big beacon to space with them. That's just kind of stupid. I also think they should broaden the cone so that you can't slide through them, because I know you can blink through them, and if you go right along the wall, you can slide through them or the ground, but I don't think you should be able to do that. All right, Blade Dancer. Let's move on. Grenades. The skip grenade time. Tracking time reduced to 8 seconds from 12, and the detonation damage reduced by 13%. I don't really notice it. I've been maining Blade Dancer for the past several weeks, and it still feels the same. Like, it's negligible at most. I don't know what you guys have seen anything.
Blade Dancer wise, I don't mind the skip grenades. One of the things that they definitely got right was when you're in your actual Blade Dancer, being able to just swing the cover ground.
Oh yeah. Then after
And
that,
not
Super
use any
Arc Blade
energy.
changed to be a less effective, to be less about repeatedly swinging and more about decisive strikes with additional effectiveness. Base duration
Yes.
increased by 2 seconds, which was nice. I needed that. It ran out quick. Like, you get going and it's just gone. And you're like, there's 2 guys left. Like, what the heck? Hit detection test range increased by 0.5 meters. Damage decreased by 30% against AI. Added a 0.8 second cooldown between Art Blade
Don't die,
swings while
DJ.
airborne. Energy cost per swing increased by 20%, but energy cost on hit decreased by 20%. Vanish now causes the player to vanish on cast in addition to its normal functionality. Showstopper, damage radius extended by 1 meter. And then obviously, well, we'll get to the other stuff, but man, Blade Dancer needed this instead of just the flailing that used to happen.
100%
I
agree
like
with
it
that.
because now I need to focus more on popping it correctly, which is outside of a room, and then going into a room. I love it because now I really focus on my blinks, my movement. Like it makes sense now.
I 100% agree with not being able to like kind of cut back on the whole swinging aspect, because there's been way too many times where you'll just catch somebody 30 feet away from you. It's just swinging at you, covering ground, and not
yeah.
losing any energy for it at all.
Well, I know that personally, I blink up, swing, blink. Like, I don't just swing, but I'm willing to give one swing, like one swing I'll give. But that's
Oh,
just so
absolutely.
I'm not at eye level, I'm not standing up there swinging. Like,
Oh,
that should not be allowed. Like, if you're that far away, you shouldn't have popped your Blade Dancer. Like, that's just stupid. What do you think, DJ Goo? What do you, Garfield? What do you think
I
about
think that's
Blade
definitely
Dancer?
the minority. Like most people, like previously when they did pop their Blade Dancer, they'd go left or right, swinging, covering ground, and then they would get you
Yeah.
or not. But
I mean, I know I've seen
it's
several
still
blade
like they
dancers that
would
do that,
not
but
care about spamming their blade. They would spam it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think
oh, dude, I
it
love
makes the
people that
blade
do
dancer
that.
less of a it
A
makes it
swinging
makes it more
machine.
skillful. Yeah, it makes it less of a just an OP. Because that's an issue from day one with Destiny is the blade dancers. Their agility is just outrageous,
Oh, it's the best
and the
thing
fact
ever, man. It's so
it's
nice. I'm so
and
fast. I slide. Like, I get my
and
running
I'm
back.
okay with
It's
if you're running
nice.
that, but when you're super, it's
oh, yeah.
when all they're doing is just swinging it
It's
just to cover
stupid.
ground. It makes like yes, I understand it's a super and it should be a little more overpowered. It's just it's just a thing. It's too much. Yes, they're not. I wouldn't easily say that they're nowhere near what the Hammer Titans were right after the launch of Taken King, but in their own right, they're just ridiculous. So
In
taking
chat.
that edge away
Oh.
from
All right, so Blink Strike. Lunge distance increased by 0.4 meters. Backstab. Valid backstab angle reduced by 30 degrees. Escape Artist. Invisibility effect delayed by 0.5 seconds. Fast Twitch recharge reduced by 20%. And then the passives. Encore. Killing an enemy with Arc Blade extends its duration and grants 150% increase to Arc Blade damage for a short time. Which is a lot of good stuff. I do appreciate that that the backstab got changed token.
yeah.
But I don't think they closed it enough because I'm still hitting people. Like I'll be right up in and I'll one hit some people, just some people, not everyone. Like usually it's when someone's running at me, and sliding, or something real in your face, or it'll be like I'm at like their side kind of thing, and I'm real close to them, so it might count it, but it's definitely not as frequent, by a long shot. And I
Well,
do
it's a step
feel
in the
that the
right
lunge
direction
is
without
shorter.
breaking it.
I do feel that the lunge is a lot shorter too. Well, not a lot shorter, but it's noticeably shorter. I'm not kidding. I'm whiffing some melees that I used to get, but those are on the fringe, the very fringe of what I should be able to get. The only thing I was really confused about is they say Encore increases the damage by 150% after a kill. Does that count in the Crucible? Do we know if that counts in all Destiny, or is that specific to like AI or not? Because it doesn't say. So am I to assume both? Because I've gotten a kill before and then whacked a Sunbreaker, and I still had to two-shot him, and it didn't look like it did any difference in damage.
I mean,
honestly, not
I don't
every
mess around with the
not
blade
used
dancer
it
too
enough.
much. But
Y'all been
don't
missing
mean to-
out.
Don't mean to cut you guys off, but I am going to be checking out for the evening after I go get my
Yep.
longbow, which I'm not going to get it. Nope, not happening. All right, anyway.
All right. Well,
Well,
everyone,
see you later, Mork.
Mork, thanks for being with us. Hopefully we can have you back sometime soon.
Absolutely.
Well, obviously we're gonna have to have you
Yeah.
back soon, but
Yeah.
we'll see if we can work anything out. Yeah. Later, Mork.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, Mark.
Yep, no
Appreciate
problem.
it,
I'll
man.
talk to you guys later.
Later.
Cool.
All right. Let's move on to the Night Stalker.
Hang
The
on,
greatly
hang on, wait. Hey, Mork.
heated.
I was
What?
gonna ask him if he was gonna run me through trials on my last week.
You can message him in Slack.
Yeah, I'll message him later.
Um,
What
okay,
other questions
so
did you want to ask us? I mean, other than the fact that I'm this ruggedly handsome, there's nothing you
Uh,
can do about that.
All right, so Night Stalkers, grenades. The spike grenades got the same treatment that the Titans did. So we don't really need to go over that. Unless Goo, if you want to go over that.
Moving on.
The chase step hasn't bothered me too much.
What about the grenade?
Um,
The grenade.
Oh, okay,
The
the
boy's lit.
pulse grenade or the spike grenade.
The spike grenade, yeah.
I've been using a mix of the spike grenade and the void wall, but on certain maps I use the spike grenade. I like the damage it deals. It seems to like be able to really put someone down even without the smoke grenade, so that's nice. But
Yep. So
the
then
nerf,
we go
yeah.
to yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah.
It's fine.
So then we go to the super, which is Shadow Shot, which now applies suppression effect on impact. Definitely noticed that. That has gotten me more than once in my blade.
Yeah, that's like really refreshing, honestly, because that's basically why a lot of people switched off the Night Stalker was not being able to shut down a super. So yeah,
Which
that's
it's your
beautiful.
main. That's what the super's for, Like,
It's like, should you run Quiver or should you run Black Hole? Black Hole is immediately going to cancel everything in its vicinity. The Quiver has a very like small radius. So yeah, there's choices. Choices
well,
to be
Quiver
made.
can still immediately suppress you, right?
No, yeah, it can. It's just the radius is really small.
Well, yeah. All right. So
Far
then
less
the
chance to
melee,
actually get
the
in it.
smoke, they changed to be less frustrating to play against in PvP, but more effective in PvE. Impact damage increased by 34%. Impact suppression and damage over time reduced by 1 second. Jump suppression removed from initial impact effects. Unupgraded smoke cloud duration increased by 1 second. Envenomed cloud duration increased by 1 second. Envenomed jump suppression removed from cloud status effects. Vanish in smoke, +1 agility removed. Snare, cloud duration increased by 1 second. Whew. They did a lot to smoke.
Smoke grenades OP.
Yeah, it was, but
I would say so.
it's come it it's
No, I'm
come
saying
down a
right
little
now,
bit.
they're really strong right now. They deal
Yeah.
a lot of damage fast.
Yeah.
Um,
That initial
have noticed
impact, when you throw it and
I
it
have
hits me,
noticed-
it does hurt a lot more.
I have noticed also that, because what it used to be when people would wombo combo you, for those of you who don't know what that is, you've not been playing Destiny long enough, so Google it. If
Wombo combo is
I've noticed
when
more-
someone throws their grenade and their smoke as a Night Stalker. We have to explain
you're-
stuff.
If that, Google's a wonderful tool. Anyways, I've noticed more like before this, you didn't really get a smoke kill very often, unless they got you did enough damage to where they got out, and then just them being poisoned for like a second or so killed them outside of the field.
Which is so
But now-
frustrating.
Yeah, now I'm noticing more if you wombo combo someone and you get womboed. Yes, the grenade hurts, but the smoke it feels like is doing just under the same amount of damage. So I'm getting more. Noticing I'm getting more smoke kills versus just strictly grenades.
Grenade kills, yeah.
you
Interesting.
can pop your smoke, hit them with 2 like hand cannon shots, and they'll die.
Yeah.
It's another grenade for
But
sure.
it's really nice that no longer does it suppress the jump, because I was getting really tired of not being able to blink out of those things. Like, I don't if I'm in a small room and I can't blink out, obviously I'm gonna die. But if I'm out in the open and I can't blink straight up and over, like, what the hell? It's smoke. It's not freaking like a death cloud. Like,
They remove the jump suppression, so
Yeah.
you can still it will slow you if you try to run out of it, and a lot of
yeah,
people
but I can
don't
blink
immediately
straight up.
jump
That's
out.
what I was really happy
I'm just saying
about.
the average player won't necessarily just jump out immediately. They'll
Yeah, they
sit in
won't
there
think
for
to
a
jump
minute.
out.
They'll try and run out of it, slide out of it, something like that.
But my immediate reaction is blink, like on those. That's just me though. I've trained myself to try and do that.
I'm okay with taking the jump suppression out because it gives it gives the other players that get hit with it. It gives them an opportunity to get away
Yeah.
while still staying true to what they were wanting to do with the smoke. So like Goo was
It is
saying,
very disorienting. I will say that.
like what Goo was saying is most people aren't going to run out. You're
Yeah.
going to have those players who know their characters well enough and have been playing like you blink. You're going to blink over everything.
Yeah.
So players think like that, yes, let's go ahead and reward them for trying that. And then it takes some of the edge off of how lethal the smoke grenade can be. Because that's what got a lot of people in trouble, is they couldn't jump out of the wombo. Now, and the same thing with the firebolt, it's, they give you a little bit more reaction time to get away from it. And that's basically what they're doing with that, and I kind of like it. It sucks you can't wombo kill everybody now, but to make the
Which
game
is
more
good.
balanced,
Now you
I
can.
kind of agree with
Yeah.
it.
All right, so the passives. Courage of the Pack now increases recovery, armory, and agility by 2 per stack. Courage of the Pack now stacks 3 times. Lockdown now increases the duration of smoke by 2 seconds, 2 additional seconds with the snare upgrade. Predator now reduces the cooldown of the Shadow Shot ability. But the big one in passives is Shade Step moved to a single dodge on a 3-second cooldown. Thank God we no longer have the super spammy Shade Steps. Thank God. I've seen a lot less Shade Step
And,
busts.
There's definitely still
I said it.
viable.
I mean, there's
they're
still
viable.
a lot, but
They're still viable, but it's less of
spamming.
same kind of thing with the Blade Dancer Super, people spamming it.
So I have a
It takes
question.
away a lot of that edge on agility.
Yeah. Which they needed
Well-
because they were by far the most agile. By far. And
Oh, yeah.
they did the same thing with the Titan chest Twilight Garrison, which definitely needed it as well. Go ahead, Goo.
So with the Shade Step nerf, would you go with Keen Scout or no? Would you like
Oh,
opt
I
to just
didn't
go
use it
zero
anyways.
Shade Step?
I can't get myself to Shade Step, and when I do, I don't do it very well. So when I was a
Nice.
Void
Night
Bow,
Stalker.
Night Stalker, thank you. I don't use it. When I
Right.
did, I would.
Well, that's definitely the
use Keen
minority. Like
Scout.
most people
Like-
who use Night Stalker will Shade Step. That's like,
Yeah. Like I
it's
just
one of the
can't.
big aspects
that's
of
one of
the
the
class,
things
so-
that I couldn't do was
As-
Shade Step.
As
Okay.
a Night Stalker main, I'm running Keen Scout and Shade Step because I have a
Yeah,
Graviton
because you
Force
have
Repellent.
yeah.
I mean, I
I'll
feel
run
like
Bones of AO, but I'm a shotgunner,
I don't-
so
I just don't see as a Night Stalker. Well, I'm a sniper too. That's the thing.
right.
So
Yeah, no.
as a Night Stalker, and sniper, there's no other real exotics that I feel like really help that build up like the Graviton.
You could have
Force
double
does.
smokes.
What about Radiant Dance
Decent.
Machines?
I've
No.
never liked the Radiant Dance machines. I just
No?
haven't.
They're okay.
No. I mean, I
I'd say
don't
it's
walk
top
around.
tier.
If I didn't,
Oh.
if I didn't love my Mask of the Third Man, I feel like I would run either that or the Lucky Raspberry. Just because I'd
I
be
do like
so
the
much
fact that they
faster
tweaked-
on my Blade Dancer.
I'm also not built, as for speed. And, the hunter as a main inherently has more agility. So
Yeah.
honestly, I run an armor build because that's where they're soft. That's where they're weak is armor. So that's just the way I run all my builds that way. Now, I will say if I'm running Rift, which by the way, I know we're supposed to talk about Iron Banner, the fact that it's not Rift, hate
Yeah.
me all you want, I'm kind of sad.
Yeah.
I will say last Rift Iron Banner, the only reason it was BS was because it didn't reward group play, it rewarded individual play. I think that's what a lot of people had issues with. It's just a different game type people have to learn, and it changes in that it changes up the fact of how a map control. It's a lot different. But
Well, and the
once you
thing
get it
was,
down,
when it comes to Iron Banner, the lag really comes into play. So you as a group can only do so much. Like I know that I've taken a Slayer team in more than once into regular Rift, and we just clean house for so long, and it's just easy. But no, yeah, like Slayer team in it, like you can do really well, but I feel like there's that Iron Banner lag that happens where it just something disconnects, and so I don't know. Let's move on though to the big ones, which was warlocks, grenades of Sunsingers. Firebolt increased arming time by 0.2 seconds. Firebolt decreased victim search radius by 1 meter. Melee Scorch was 0.3 second delay added before the overshield activation. And then the biggest and most needed change, Viking Funeral no longer extends the duration of the ignite effects. Viking Funeral now weakens targets now weakens targets afflicted with the ignite effects, causing them to take 5% more damage from all sources, stacking up to 3 times. It's basically the Titan melting point, but in a grenade. Not quite as effective though. Definitely was needed.
Yeah, the fact that they said it wasn't needed the last time they messed with the warlocks, I was very much in uproar. I'm I'm okay with the changes that they made for the warlocks now.
And Voidwalkers feel so good. Oh my god, they feel so good.
It took the Sunsinger being the meta for warlocks out.
Yeah.
It did make Voidwalkers and actually Stormcallers more viable.
I don't know. I still would run my Voidwalker 9 times out of 10 over my Stormcaller. I don't know. I've used them before. I know DJ. I know you like yours, but
Oh yeah, I'm running a Stormcaller right now.
I can't. I don't like that roaming on them. I love my Blade Dancer, but it's not the same. It's not as direct. I don't know. But so yeah, Voidwalkers, the blink now incurs a -1 recovery penalty, but in the base damage of the Nova Bomb got increased by 50%, an additional 50% for AI, and Lance now increases Nova Bomb damage by an additional 25%, which feels good. I can now kill a Blade Dancer. Oh my god, I don't know how many clips I have of me throwing a Nova Bomb, hitting a Blade Dancer in their face, and not killing them. And they're like, absolutely. I'm like, what the fuck? So this was a very nice change, in my opinion.
It should be able to counter other supers, for sure. So that damage boost is needed.
I think we'll definitely save the weapons for next episode. Just because we're running a little over stuff with the weapons. So, but yeah, we'll go over that. Twilight Garrison, they moved to a single dodge on a 3-second timer. That was definitely
similar to the Night Stalker Shade Step.
Yeah.
And after that was completely warranted.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
All right,
It's
so
still decent, just as Shade Step is.
All right, so let's talk about Iron Banner now, real quick. The salt is real. The lag.
I've enjoyed Iron Banner.
Ridiculous. I do too, but
it's been a little
the
bit
lag
laggy.
has gotten a little more so than past Iron Banners recently, I would say. What do you guys think?
I think they're going through connection issues. Not really sure what's going on.
DJ,
I've noticed a bunch of my friends have become avoid me. Like a bunch of my more like high tier friends. Seems people are just reporting them for cheating and unsporting conduct. Kind of unfortunate. That's kind of led to like the laggy matches.
Ones in particular?
No, a couple, at least like a handful. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Avoid me. So.
Well, that's true because
when you're avoid me, you can only match up with the other avoid me or knees work players. So kind of leads to laggier, not so pleasant matches.
I don't want to throw names out, but you know who I'm talking about. When did his start? That was like right after Iron Banner started.
Been about 4 to 5 days now. So.
This is about when Iron Banner started. Well,
and he's actually like made what I would think the right steps to get off that. He's reached out throughout the clan trying to get people to like his posts. Then we found out that may not be the best route. Maybe you simply just send like helpful, friendly reports on Destiny and just playing with people and not getting reported. But even like in his attempts to not get reported, he's been reported. He was at 12, now he's at 13.
Really? He got reported again?
Yeah, he did. I'm not really sure for what. He's basically been playing a lot of Star Wars because it has a lot on one match. So that's a lot of people that aren't reporting you would think, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think that system's kind of flawed, honestly. But that's kind of led to some of my laggy matches throughout Iron Banner this week.
Yeah.
Playing with friends that can't really find other matches, so you're just gonna leave them high and dry, or what?
Yeah. So last week, previously on Knights of the Phoenix. No, just kidding. Last week we came in third in Clash Wars, Clan Wars. The most matches was taken by Super Rob. He had the most points as well as the most going postals. The highest KD went to Oj. That a boy. And then the highest win percent was our very own DJ with a 77% win rate in Clash. So you were getting pretty good at Clash for Iron Banner, right? Right. This week though, if it'll let me get there.
Looks like we're about 275k down from first, which is
we have Iron Banner Clash as the event. It's the Morgue again, which is a really annoying modifier, not gonna lie. Double down, gain a 30% bonus for getting a multi-kill, which is a very interesting perk because double kill is 30%, and then triple kill on top is another 30, and then breaker, which I believe is 4, is another 30. So if you get a 7th column, I figured it out, that was 180% damage, or 180% points increase, which is crazy. Like,
I'm personally not a fan of that modifier. Like,
I mean, I'm not either. It's a really hard thing to do, but some of our guys are just tearing it up.
Yeah, it totally favors more top tier players, which is fine, but it's like, it's a clan thing, so you want something that people can consistently feel like, oh yeah, I'm doing this to like add to the effort, rather than just like looking for double kills and triple kills that may never come.
Well, there is though the Killing Dead, 25% bonus for each post-mortem kill, which is kind of nice.
Which is still like a terrible modifier in my opinion. Like you have to die to get this. Like, come on, like give me headshots, give me something. I'd personally much prefer like a headshot or like
a pew pew pew.
I don't know, even like a shot.
I don't think we'll ever see a shotgun modifier.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not sure.
All right, let's wrap this up. I want to thank Garfiend for coming out of the blue as an unexpected guest. I want to thank DJ for coming back again. And
yes, sir.
Again, a big shout out to Mork for being able to cut some time out of his busy week to show up. I also have some major shout outs to Swain and Birds from Crucible Radio. I've been able to talk with them and get a lot of info and feedback about our podcast, and man, you guys have just been super helpful. Like editing, how to treat guests, how all this stuff just been really helpful. Like bunch of great guys.
Really
if you
cool.
if you haven't looked up Crucible Radio, definitely check it out. They have a lot of good stuff. My favorite stuff is Sports Psychologist Steve, where they work on a lot of the mental game, which for me is a big part of it. Granted, I need a little help in the thumb skills, but sometimes it's also the mental game that really throws me off. I want to also throw a big shout out is Handsome Dragon from Ghost Stories, Destiny Ghost Stories. They have a great podcast that you should definitely check out. It's Destiny Ghost Stories. You should definitely check them out. It's all about lore. I've learned so much stuff about Destiny from them. Like, so much stuff about Osiris is just hidden in the Grimoire, Toland, like all this stuff. It's just great stuff. Just check them out. They've also given us some feedback. They've also been really great. They've retweeted a lot of our stuff, just giving us a lot of spread through the community.
Yeah,
Next week, hopefully we stay per the usual. We're trying to move to 8 o'clock now instead of 9, but apparently 9 o'clock just works so much better. So it'll either be 8 or 9 o'clock. We'll probably decide around Tuesday. But Thursdays, 8, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Be here this Thursday.
Square.
This Thursday at KOTPodcast at twitch.com. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's go.
All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah, I just want to give
I am
thanks to
Coney. I am your host. We have Goo. Say hi, Goo.
Hey, yeah, I just want to give a thanks to everyone who came on the podcast today, Guard, DJ, Mork, and also to everyone who Coney's been reaching out to, like, throughout the Destiny community. It's, like, really refreshing to see that you guys are, like, willing to, like, throw some tips, and, like, we're totally new to the game. Like, we're just, like, trying to have some fun,
this is
like,
our
help out
4th
the
episode.
clan. So, like, we really appreciate you guys giving us some, like, pointers and all, like, anything you really have. So,
any
thank
feedback
you
is
guys.
good feedback.
Much
at this
love.
Point. Like, if you want to be like, hey, you suck at this, don't do this again. Like, I will take that feedback. I want to know why. Like, I mean, honestly,
like, I know
all
everything
we want to do is
is
improve.
not, like, perfect, up to par even.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're learning.
Little critique from having been in here and listening to a lot of this.
Yeah.
I would shorten down the number of topics, especially like when they do something as massive as like updating.
Yeah.
I would focus on smaller, more often podcasts throughout the week, and like it can be like podcast 4.1 or whatever.
It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy
Focus on.
because, like, a topic can be, like, so vast. You may not think so. You're like, oh, we're going to talk about this and that. But then, like, conversations get going and just, like, 30 minutes is gone. Just like that.
Like
Yeah.
we talked about
That's what I'm saying.
strikers and them for like 15 minutes, just Titans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like when they do massive changes like this, I would say just expect more podcasts, and I would honestly try to. Hey DJ, are you still in here?
Yeah.
Big Coney leadership. Anyways,
Been there, done that.
Been
Yeah,
there, done that.
The
Got
only
a
thing I
t-shirt
miss
for it.
about that is
Returned
the only
it.
thing I miss
Only-
about
hang on.
being a leader is having a direct
the only
say in a
reason
lot
I
of
say
stuff.
that is if he's gonna be sitting here doing the podcast, you know, I know giving back and all, but give him something, you know, and or put a leadership over
What are
it.
you
I don't
referring
care.
to, my friend?
Because the thing is give him time to like plan it out and actually have it. Like if we're gonna talk about Titans,
Oh, we
Get
already
someone
got
who
all that.
mains a
Like we
Titan.
have a chat set up and everything. Like
It's
Well,
on us
already
to get organized, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
Well-
not like a leadership thing.
well, my whole
Yeah.
thing
There's
is
nothing we can really. Yeah, go ahead.
well, like if we're gonna talk about say Titans, because we had such an in-depth conversation about the Titans, do a Twitch whenever they update like the Titans or any of the classes, do something about the class changes, because you can easily take up 30 minutes just talking about that. But
So-
your guess, I would pull people who main those classes, in addition to having someone who goes against them. I mean, we all are gonna play against all these different classes, but we're sitting here talking about Titan. I don't ever play a Titan.
Right.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
and that's why- and
I'm
that's
gonna
why- and that's why I
put
was
this out
quiet
here.
about the
I'm
whole-
gonna put this out. If you're listening to this, email us at kotpodcast@gmail.com if you want to see more podcasts during the week, or if you want to see a longer podcast. Email us and let us know what you think. Longer podcasts, more frequent podcasts, keep it as it is, or really anything in
Maybe
general.
more informative, like,
Topics, anything you want. Email us.
Yeah, that
Or if you're part of the
that's my
clan,
2
just
cents.
message me in Slack, which is probably more likely. But
whoever's out
So-
there. Give us
So
your
with
feedback.
that, I am going to close this one down.
Hang on,
Guys, it's been a
I kinda
great
just wanna
episode.
say- I
Yeah,
kind of
go
just
ahead
want to
and say
say something about D-Money saying, funny, he's like, I'll carry you in trials if you make me lead.
Yeah, no.
Wait, where's that at?
He said,
Sorry,
I'll
D-Money, I
carry
don't know
you
if
in
that
trials
happens that way.
if you make me a leader.
Secretary of
Papa Nick
Carries.
Fresh is like Coney 2016.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you did that with D-Money, he would be Secretary of Carries. Or
Yeah,
Secretary of
and-
Backpacking.
And the Papa Nick Fresh. The reason we pretty much look at the whole chat, but we can't sit there and go and answer every single question that's out there. Every single time y'all put something in the chat, we can't respond to every little thing. It's
I would
just
say
kinda
I'd be all right with being like our
You know
networking
what, actually?
guy, like reaching out to other people and connecting with people, because that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm having a lot of success with it. Like, I'm already in 2 other Slack chats, like, that I never thought I'd be in, for one. Like,
Are you cheating on us, Coney?
oh,
Yes.
hell no. They have so much shit going through those at one time, it's a blur. I can't even keep up with it.
D-Money, you think I'm playing, you'll get all 3 characters done.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's funny. Honestly, something to consider. Do an FAQ podcast and get like leadership, and maybe not do it like as frequent, maybe like once a month, for people listening. If you have a question and it wasn't answered, put it in.
Why don't we
like,
do it the
send
first of the month?
Yeah, do it
tomorrow?
on the first of the month, and then send these questions that you want answered to Coney on Slack. And then if we can get, I mean, DJ, I don't know if the leadership can do it. I understand it's all working with schedules and stuff, but if you can get one person from the leadership team in here,
I can
that
imagine
maybe
Axel
help
would
with
love
the questions. Yeah, just
to. And yes, I just
Axel would
threw
be
him.
I-
Enter
Axel would-
bus. Here's Axel. Let's be honest,
wait,
that's what
make
I
sure you
just
back
did.
up.
But
since he's the founder.
yeah, he's the
It'd be-
founder.
I'd be okay with actually seeing Hunter back, if only just to do a podcast.
Yeah. Well, I want to get
I
him. in at
understand
some
he's
point.
got some personal stuff.
Um,
I know he's doing personal stuff.
I'm gonna cut the podcast right here. This has been another great Oh my god, I just fucked up so bad. That's gonna
KOT
get cut.
podcast.
KOT
All right.
podcast.
This has been another great KOTP. Ah, damn it! I gotta cut that too. God damn it!
podcast. You ready?
All right,
Let me
this
do
has
it,
been
Coney.
another great KOT podcast. Thanks everyone for coming out. DJ, Garfiend, Mork, thanks for coming. Again, this is KOT Podcast, your place for news, tips, tricks, and just about everything Destiny with a little bit of Overwatch thrown in. Thanks and have a great night. Boom!
Suck a fat clam.
Yeah. During your whole little goodbye, you still was saying like and shit like that.
I can edit that out, but it's when I'm like, God, like KOT
Edit
KOT
every other
podcast.
word out.
and shit, like-
Podcast.
God damn it! You'd think I'd have that down by now. It's episode 4. Like, fuck. Oh, and Papa Nick Fresh, if you're still watching, we are gonna get you in on one of these.
Dude, Papa Nick Fresh has mad people on the fucking stream.
Dude, I know. That's why we're
He's
getting
got
him in here.
2,000 views or whatever.
He said like hit him up with a message or tweet or whatever, and he'll retweet it out and all that.
No, Nick. Okay, Papa Nick Fresh said you said KOT. No, it's KOT Podcast. It's Knights of the Podcast. It's the play on words kind of thing.
I wouldn't even say KOT podcast. I would just say Knights of the Podcast. It'd probably be less confusing, less jumbled.
True that.
Yeah. Anyway,
I would just say thanks for joining Knights of the Podcast. Like it sounds better too.
Thanks.